What's going on there, fellow YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists, and welcome to this, which is part 5, I believe, in my Memory Lane series. Now this video is going to concentrate on the route to my friend's house, or one of my friend's house, probably my closest friend when I was at school. And once again, we're going to be starting at the Chelsea Gardens bus stop. It's kind of a key point here because we can get to several places from here, so you don't need to see the journey up until this point. You can go back and watch part 2, I believe, if I remember. I'll put a link into that takes you up to this point. And yeah, so before we went in this direction, which is to the left of that bus stop, but we are going straight on and we are heading to this direction, which will take us to the Colwill Road sign. If we follow it straight down. Now, I don't recall ever walking to my friend's house, so I would have cycled this on my push bike, on my drop handlebar 5-speed racer Halford's push bike. It was green. So I would have come down the roadway, but obviously I'm having to go down the pavement way. But you can see the sign ahead. Now that sign was I stopped on the last video when I came where that post box is on the left. I came from that direction, and I once I'd gone past it, I stopped and I looked at the Colwill Road, and I said this would be important in the next video or a future video. And here it is. We're coming up to it right now, and so there it is, Colwill Road. That's the one, and that's the direction I'm going to be going in. So there we are, the famous Colwill Road sign, and that's the direction I'm going to be going in now. Like I said, I used to cycle down here, so I used to zoom around here on my bike down on the road, so obviously a lot quicker than I'm going now by foot. Now these flats on the right hand side were not built when I first started living in Plymouth, so they weren't there. It was just like wasteland. And when we get down to the end, eventually you'll see a bunch of trees in the path. That was not there before either, but we'll come to that in a moment. I don't remember much about like the fencing on the left. I don't think there was any fencing on the left, but that's neither here nor there really in terms of my memory and how I remember stuff. Changing over the side of the road. Now going past here, there'll be two ways to go in a moment, and I believe over the course of the years I was coming here, I went both ways, but I will never forget. See, that's one way you can get to where we're going, is up there, and the next one, which is further down, is very similar. Colwill Walk, that's where we're aiming to get to. We're just going to be walking right towards the end of this road. We actually need to get up in behind these houses to get to where I'm aiming for. Now this here, this is what I was talking about before. As you can see there now, there is well, obviously the trees, which weren't there before. It was just a slope leading up. And the path that was there, that was not there either. It was just like rough earth. Looked like it had been just dumped there by like some gigantic digger thing. But that was the way I used to come back, but it was far too rough to cycle up, and I couldn't do that at the time. Okay, so I will show you the way I actually used to go. It's up that series of slopes there. Now I have to say at this point that we're going to be, and this whole area on the way to my friend is a real dichotomy of areas of living. Now I'll explain more as I go, because I can never forget, even though it was 30 plus years ago my first trip to ride to my friends. I get to a roundabout here and I'm confronted by like the local gang of youths who control the area. They were kind of like the mafia here. I swear to goodness, they were like the mafia, like mini mafia. There was no lines on the thing. I think someone just painted them on there for their kids, because they were like demanding some kind of toll, as I remember. You got to pay to go through our neighbourhood, sort of thing. And I can't actually remember any ruckuses sort. So obviously I talked my way out of it and carried on the cycling. In fact, I think they gave me directions as to where I was going. See, I was going to what was known as Snob Hill. Oh, that's it banned there, so obviously the postman's been. Yeah, my friend lived on what was commonly known as Snob Hill. It's not actually called Snob Hill, it's called Earlswood Drive, but I believe to this day it's still known as Snob Hill, and you'll see why later on in this video. But anyway, I come up here, and this is like a real I don't want to offend anybody, but it's kind of a poorer part of town. This so we get here, and the houses or the flats, apartments, they're all on top of one another. So I have two ways to go, left or right, and they told me to go right, which was actually the correct way to go. So that's the top of the steps where I came up. So now I have this way to go, which is to the right, and we'll go on. It's just the last few of the apartments here. Now, as I said, I didn't want to offend anybody by saying, oh, this is a rough neighbourhood. It's how it was perceived at the time by young children, and the whole Snob Hill thing. People living on Snob Hill kind of looked down at the people living here on Colwill Walk. But here we are, we're coming through. This is how I remember it still. The path that we saw earlier comes up to our right, but this is the bottom of Snob Hill, which I thought was steep at the time cycling. I suppose by the time I got here I was kind of a little out of breath, and I thought, oh, I don't want to go up another hill. But that's Snob Hill, or Earlswood Drive. And yeah, the people here were yes, more well-to-do. So that's the way we came from, the hood, as it were. And of course sometimes I'd have to go back that way, or a chance going over the dirt mound. But there it is. There's a picture of the way I came, bottom of Snob Hill. But and that sign on the right hand side, there you go, Earlswood Drive. That is what it says, Earlswood Drive. It's a bit covered up by some bush there or whatever. And up there, we'll be going up there, in a moment to see. But yeah, so that there on the left would, like you said, just imagine a drop on an earth mound, like a sort of dirt bike trail, and you have a general idea. You'd either chance that or go through the hood and maybe get accosted by the gangs again. It was that was the choice you had to make. But I was pretty cool. I didn't worry about it. So I'm walking back now, as if I was going this way back home. I saw a cool cat on the way there, cute cat. So sometimes I'd come this way, sometimes I'd just chance the dirt mound. It depends. But you can see there's not a lot of room here, and you could get cornered quite easily. So I'm lucky I was quite fast at riding on my bike. Looks like someone's having their kitchen replaced here at the moment. It's just odd, really odd, walking back here now as an adult. I could have gone on or taken this path. Sorry, bad English. So you go down this one. This was the first one that we saw on the way down the road. And yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. Not quite so many slopes to go down. For getting down, it was a little bit easier. So I can't remember exactly, but I probably would have taken this way. The shopping trolleys from the local supermarket, yeah, they were always there. Just some things never change, eh? But there you are. That brings us back out to here. Of course, in a moment we'll see Earlswood Drive or Snob Hill from the top of the hill, and the house where my friend used to live. So yeah, that's the way I came, basically. Just a couple more shots of the neighbourhood around there and how closed in it is. You can see that. But yeah, so from there I would have come back up this road, cycled up to the bus stop, and from here we can work our way backwards from the previous, one of the previous episodes, back to my house. Of course, by the time I came home, it was usually always 99.99999% of the time dark, because I stayed there so long. Because we used to have a good time, we used to hang out there, play games, play computer games and board games, and goodness knows what else. Go on bike rides ourselves, come back, just generally, have a laugh. So I used to come back with my lights on. I don't know if anybody remembers the old dynamo light system for the bicycles that both myself and my friend had. Our fathers had both got us dynamos to save on batteries, presumably for the lights. But there you go. So the faster you pedal, the brighter the lights got. It's quite funny, really. But anyway, this ends part one of this journey towards my friend's house, and the next part of this will be Snob Hill itself. We'll be concentrating on, and so I'll see you then, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, all brushes lead to all, and bye for now. Thank you. Bye.